After all the fuss over the Trump administration's possible links to the Kremlin, the US and Russian presidents will finally come face to face. The two are to meet at the G20 summit in Hamburg this Friday. RT's Kate Partridge has more.
Well, this year's G20 summit promises to be very interesting indeed. The White House and the Kremlin have both confirmed that Presidents Trump and Putin will meet on the sidelines, though, after 6 months of Russia and Trump dominating the headlines and Moscow admitting that relations between the countries are at zero. However, it's much anticipated by other people that this will be the highlight of the entire summit. Well, what is it that they're going to be talking about? Well, first of all, there's Ukraine, and secondly, there's Syria, and that promises to be very thorny indeed after the White House came out with the unfounded allegation and indeed prediction that President Assad would use another chemical attack in Syria, an act which, I quote, Moscow said is an invitation for provocation. And then there's the G20 summit venue itself. It's been in Hamburg, where there's been protests, and demonstrators are saying there are going to be even more of them. And then there's a scandal amongst the policemen. The Berlin police were drafted in to help the Hamburg colleagues in providing security for the event, but hundreds of them have been sent home after a scandal where a party got out of hand, where public sex, fighting and striptease seemed to be the order of the night, and therefore inappropriate behaviour was the reason that they were sent back. And then there's President Erdogan's bodyguards. They've also been told not to come following the recent time in May when they were accused of beating up protesters outside the Turkish embassy in Washington. So all in all, this year's G20 promises to be very interesting indeed.